And we are alive. Happy Sunday, happy Sunday, happy Sunday. It is Coach Lee, your productivity and accountability coach, here for another Sunday of, you've guessed it, Success Started series. Y'all know we go live each and every Sunday where we talk about different tips and tools to help you set your week up for success, because in setting your week up for success, you're doing the work to set your life up for success. And as your productivity and accountability coach, I'm all about helping to empower you to find that hidden time in your day, to unlock your true potential by helping you uncover that hidden time in your day, time that you can use to create a life you love. Because in pouring back into self and taking care of self, you're then able to show up in the various roles that you play and take care of others. And so as we continue through the month of January and through our theme and topics for this month, we will make sure to continue in the theme for the month, because January is all about fresh starts and fresh systems. Because as we're coming into this new year, we want to make sure that as we're starting this year off right, as we're starting this year off strong, that you have the systems that will support you as you journey through and as you move through this year. And so we're going to dive in and we're going to continue in that conversation by talking about routines that actually work. Because I don't know about you, but as a busy professional, I want to make sure that I have routines that not only serve me at work, but that serve me in life. Because we want work and life to be separate, but in all honesty, work and life are together. Because if you don't have systems that are serving you at home, you bring that stress and overwhelm to work. And if you don't have systems that are serving you at work, you bring in that stress and overwhelm home. Let alone the fact, let's not even talk about working overtime or things like that to make sure that you're getting the work done. Because we all about work-life balance, and to me, work-life balance doesn't mean working late. It doesn't mean bringing work home. And so I want to help you to make sure that you have routines that actually work, no matter what it is you do, no matter, your schedule, your shift, or whatever the case may be. And so we're going to go through and we're going to hit three quick points, be in and out, and let you get on with your day so that you can put them to work and start utilizing them as you're starting to set your week up for success and setting your life up for success. And so when we think about it, we start talking about what routines do you need. We're going to start with the morning, because the way you start your day is going to set the tone for your day. And so by taking the time to create and have a tailored morning routine, this is going to help serve you. We don't need to be waking up and running straight out the door. We too grown to be waking up, brushing our teeth, throwing on clothes, and running out the door. No, absolutely not. You need to be able to wake up, to get your peace and wit about yourself, to get yourself together and go to work. Whether work is in your living room, in your office, on the couch, or you having to get into a car and commute. Because if you got kids or things like that, you got to get them ready for school and get them up. We're not doing this wake up, running out the door mess. We're not. That doesn't set the tone for a good day. Because if you start the day rushing, you're going to be rushing for any and everything after that. Because if you're already waking up and running straight out the door, don't let there be a detour on the way to work, because now you're going to be running late. But I digress. So let's talk about a morning routine. So having a morning routine, a specific morning routine that works for you is going to set the tone for your day, even if you only have a limited amount of time. So me saying you waking up, I've known people who wake up 15, 20 minutes before they got to be out the door, literally wake up, brush their teeth, throw on clothes, and go to work. And those people, it ain't because they plan their day. It's not because they got their clothes picked out or anything like that. They're literally rushing throughout the day. And because of the fact they rush throughout the day, who knows if they even got lunch? Oh, I guess they're just going to spend money and buy lunch every day. But we're not here for that. So when you think about how can you craft a tailored morning routine, and honestly, for me, it starts with the night before, but we're going to just focus on morning routines for now. What is it that you need to do to start your day to set you up for success? What does that look like? If you have a morning routine, feel free to let me know in the comments. And if you don't, where do you find yourself struggling or rushing in the morning, to where we can talk through that and kind of use specifics to help you figure out what a morning routine is that'll work for you. But when you think about what is that you need to set the tone for the day, reverse engineering is the key to helping you figure anything and everything like that out. Y'all know the Lee method. The L is all about looking. So you're looking to see what is it that causes you to rush, be stressed, be frazzled in the morning. And that's why I say, in part, a good morning routine starts the night before, but we're going to just focus on the morning. Because the reason I say that a morning routine starts the night before is because a lot of things that I do at night is to prepare me for the morning. But these are things that you can honestly still do in the morning, but you have to have the time to do so. So what is it that you need to do each morning before you walk out that door? Or if you work from home, before you get to that couch? You need to wake up. You need to clean your face, brush your teeth, get yourself together. You need to probably get some food together. Your clothes. And I think you need to do a little bit more than that. But even if you're just doing those things, you don't want it to have to be a rush to do those things. You want to be able to have time and space to breathe. Okay, exactly. Okay, here we go. We got a prime morning routine. And this is my type of morning routine. Prayer, meditation, idealization, which to me I'm thinking of as visualizing or like brainstorming. Eat the frog first, which those who don't know what eat the frog is, that means do the hardest thing first. And specifically, you're saying eat the frog first before 9 a.m. Outside of that, clothes, meals, chores are automated or on a schedule, exactly, to reserve the bandwidth. So for me, my morning routine, and y'all know I wake up at 2:30, and I'm not telling y'all gotta wake up at 2:30, but for me, my morning routine is I have a whole mini job before I even go to work. So for me, my morning routine is wake up, scroll social media, because that's part of my morning routine because I go to bed early. I build in time to kind of catch up on what I missed, like checking my notifications, responding to messages, anything like that. Doing my morning devotional. I read 10 pages of personal development. I also read 10 pages for fun. I do my, morning, brush my teeth, wash my face, all of that. Change into my workout clothes. From there, I go to my kitchen to pack my lunch. Well, my breakfast, lunch, and snack. But I pack my lunch for the day. And then from there, I come into my office where I work for about 45 minutes to an hour before I start my workout. And then if you're going to continue the morning routine aspect of that, after my workout, I'll take a shower, put on clothes, and go to work. In the midst of that is a lot of other many things, but not really. So the reason I say, for example, in talking about this morning routine, the reason that I say my morning routine starts the night before is when I say I'm packing my lunch in the morning, I put it in the containers at night. So I go ahead and when I'm making my dinner at night, I go ahead and section out my food for the next day and put it in containers. So when I'm making my lunch, I'm literally putting it in the lunchbox. And then I set the lunchbox back in the refrigerator. And then in terms of getting dressed, I pick out my clothes for the week, go ahead and iron them and have them out. So literally it's a matter of grabbing the clothes for the day and putting them on. Same thing with my workout clothes. I pick out my workout clothes for the week as well as my work clothes for the week. And so then when I'm coming into my office, I've already decided the night before what personal development is that I'm doing, what it is I'm going to be working on, specifically while I'm going to be in the office. My workout, I follow a workout program, so I'm just doing the next thing that's on the calendar for that workout program. So kind of how David was saying, conserving that brain power, doing things automated. That's why when I say my morning routine starts the night before, it's because of the prep work that I do at night to set myself up. If you don't want to do that prep work at night, that's fine. You don't have to. So what is your morning routine going to look like? How are you going to go about doing the things that you need to do to get yourself out and on the way to work in a timely manner without the stress and the overwhelm? Now, if you got kids that you got to bring into this equation, that's all the more reason why you need a morning routine. Because we know them kids they don't want to wake up. They don't want to go to bed. They don't want to do nothing. They want what they want, and then what they want ain't what they need in the morning, and all of the things. Exactly. The more routine you make your day, the more routine it will be. Surprises don't have to be daily. Exactly. Because we're in control of what we do. And while we're not in control of what happens, we're in control of our response. And the more routine and structure you give your day, your responses to the unexpected things will be less surprising, I guess you can say, because you have a routine and you know how it is that you can go about fixing whatever it is that pops up. And so you need to look, the L and the Lee method. You need to look to figure out, what do I need to do each morning that's going to help me to set the tone for my day in a positive and productive way that's going to help me to show up and be the best version of myself. Where is it that you find yourself frazzled? If you wake up right now 30, 40 minutes before work and you feel like you're rushing, add 15, 20 minutes to that time. I.e., if you're waking up 30, 40 minutes before work and you feel frazzled, wake up 45 minutes to an hour before work. Do those same things. Don't even add anything additional into the routine. Just focus on doing the things that you're doing currently, but giving yourself more space to do it. I don't even want you to add anything. I just want you to go about doing the things you're currently doing in the morning, but giving yourself space to breathe. Because it's quite possible that you're going to see that once you give yourself that space to breathe, you might be like, oh, I got time to throw a load of laundry in. I got time to read my book. I got time to sit and watch TV for a few minutes. Whatever it might be. Because by giving yourself space to breathe and not having to run from one thing to the next thing, from this to the next, all will be good. And that's why when you want to have a routine that's actually going to work, you got to figure out where is the busy in life right now and how can we simplify that busy. Because you can be busy but not look busy. You feel me? Okay. People always tell me like, you do so much but you always seem like calm and cool. Exactly. Because I got routines and I got systems. I got to-do lists and I got brain dumps. I got lists. I got lists on top of lists on top of lists. We good. The answer to overwhelming complexity is not more activity and complexity. It's subtraction and simplicity. Exactly. What I read that to say is the reason that we're stressed out and overwhelmed is because you're doing the most. You're doing the most, but not in an efficient way and not with the system. We all have a lot to do. We got to take care of life. We got to go to work. We got to take care of kids if you got kids, family, whatever other responsibilities that you have. I work, I got this business, and I got myself to take care of. And take care of myself involves a lot. Because I'm meal prepping for myself. I'm working out. I do a lot to take care of myself. And still making sure that I, talk to my friends, talk to my family, things like that. So adulting by itself is a full-time job. But then you got a full-time job that is a full-time job, and then a business that can be a full-time job. I can be doing the quote-unquote most, but I make it look easy because I have systems. Or I try to make it look easy. I don't actually try to make it look easy. Sometimes y'all tell me I make it look easy, and I'm just like, systems, routines, structure. That's what that comes down to. And so taking that morning routine, let's go into the next phase. Let's talk about weekly planning. Because y'all know, what do I tell y'all to do every week? Do a brain dump, make a to-do list, plan out your week. I do. I tell y'all to do that every week. Why? So you can have a system and a structure for how it is you're going through these next 7 days. Because you need it. Because here's the thing about when it comes to a structure, when it comes to a schedule. Is reducing overwhelm. Just like David was saying, the answer to overwhelming complexity isn't more, it's less. So by taking the time to have a schedule, you're able to see where is your actual free time. And maybe you make a schedule and you see you don't have free time, but you know what that's going to help you do? Stop saying yes to everything. Stop overscheduling yourself. Stop stressing yourself out. Stop overwhelming yourself. If you really want to take the time to figure out why you're so stressed out and why you're so overwhelmed. The same way you looked at your morning routine to figure out where is it that I find myself frazzled, stressed out? What is something that I can simplify within this? How can I create more capacity for myself? How can I reduce my overwhelm? That's where planning comes into place. By taking time to update your calendar, update your planner, do a brain dump, make a to-do list. Yes, we generally have a structure to our day. We generally have a general structure to our week, whether that be go to work, come home, church, family, TV time, sports, working out, meal prepping, whatever, and any other things that might fall within there. You still need to take time to plan that out because I have some calls that I do every week. I have some calls that I do every other week. I have some calls that I do once a month. I have different things that I do, and because of that, yes, I have a schedule because I know these things come up, but if I don't look at the specific week to see what it is that I have, how am I going to structure my week? How am I going to know how much capacity that I have? Because even when I do my brain dump and make my to-do list for the week, like when I start thinking about the adulting tasks that I need to do, I still have to figure out where it is that I need to do them. So for example, I set a dentist appointment. I have a dentist appointment that I rescheduled from a couple weeks ago because I had court, or I was in trial. I thought the trial was going to be, well, at the time I scheduled the dentist appointment, I didn't have a trial scheduled. And then when the week of the dentist appointment came up, I'm like, I'm not positive that my trial is going to be done on this Thursday. Let me just go ahead and reset it. So I reset it, and I reset it till this week. And in resetting it to the week, I thought that court started later. But one of my coworkers was like, hey, you saw the judge is going to actually start court this day at 8:30 instead of 9 or 9:30, where she normally starts it. I didn't realize that because typically for this court hearing, it typically always starts 9 or 9:30. And so I had set my dentist appointment with that in mind, knowing that I would be there in time. And so now I'm like, I need to reschedule that dentist appointment again because I feel that I'm going to be cutting it close, and I don't like to cut it close on things that I can control. Because I can't control how long they're going to take at the dentist office. I could walk in, they call me straight back, I'd be in and out and make it to work because my dentist is 5-10 minutes from work. I could go in there and be sitting there for 30-45 minutes, and then they still got to do my cleaning and me get to work. So in order for me to reduce the overwhelm and the stress of that day, be sitting there trying to figure out, am I going to get there in time? I'm going to just reschedule it. Which means on my to-do list, the dentist appointment is written in, but I also wrote down that I want to call to reschedule my dentist appointment to see what other options that I have. So I don't got to be stressed out and overwhelmed. And so that's what I mean by creating a weekly schedule and also being realistic in that weekly schedule that you're creating. Because once you look at your schedule and see what it is that you have that is stagnant, that is stuck, so to speak, on that calendar, you're then able to start plugging in those things that can be moved around. Those phone calls that you have to make. Those like drop-offs you have to do. Like I have a library book that's due either Tuesday or Wednesday of this week. I'm going to see if I can renew the book, and then I can drop it off this weekend. Because I don't know why the library ain't telling me my book was due. Typically, the library texts me 3 days in advance to tell you your book is due. I didn't get that message this time. I just happened to be going to request a new library book, and I was like, wait, I got a book due? They would have told me that they would have sent the message the day it was due. So I'm going to call tomorrow to try to reschedule it. Renew it. I keep saying reschedule. Reschedule the due date, i.e. renew the book so that I can have a couple more days and I'll drop it off this weekend. And so when you start looking at and thinking about what do I need to do, that's that examination phase within the Lee method. Because we looked at our morning routine to see where we needed to create more structure, create more capacity. We're examining in our weekly planning what's on our to-do list and what it is that we need to do, because we're going to utilize that to execute, to create that routine that's going to be flexible for you. Because like I said, I have things that are weekly, I have things that are bi-weekly, I have things that are monthly, I have things that are daily that I do. And so in having these different roles, these different responsibilities and different things that I have to do, I take that into account when it comes to planning. When I'm in trial, my to-do list for business and life, I make it light. I know when a trial is coming up. I might not necessarily know the exact date, but I know that in a week or two, I likely will be in trial. And so as a result of that, I try to either front load stuff that's going to be due during that time or push off ideas that I'm having to after that time. And so when I'm planning my week, in creating this game plan of how I'm going to execute and how it is that I'm going to show up throughout this week, I'm taking those things into account. So when it comes to having a routine that actually works, even when you're busy, you got to have a routine. You have to schedule. You have to plan. You have to actually take time to make your life easier. Life ain't going to just be easy because life is just going to be easy. Life is easy because you create an easy life for yourself. And the way that you create an easy life for yourself is taking time to do your brain dump, make your to-do list, schedule things out, update your planner, understand when it is you need to have things done, and create space and capacity to get things done within that time. I don't know if I was talking about it on live or just in my stories. Like one thing that I'm working to do to create more space and to create more ease for myself when it comes to work is working a week ahead. So I typically work on stuff that's due, depending, if it's a bigger project, it starts farther out. But like, simple day-to-day stuff like the week of. But I want to start working a week ahead so that, i.e., things that are due this week would have been already done. And so the reason for that is that I'm creating the space so that once I'm in trial or when things start popping up, I have more space and capacity to get those things done and know that the things that are actually going to be upcoming and due will already be done. And by having the thing already done, in addition, if I still have time, I feel like it's a spider web or something on my face, y'all, sorry. But by working on the things that are due a week in advance, if the week that is actually due ends up being a light week or I have additional space, I can always go back and revisit that thing and add more. Because here's the thing. The more time you give yourself to work on things, even if you work on it all that time, you're going to keep adding to it. So if I have a finished product that I'm satisfied with a day in advance, but then I have additional time during the week that it's actually due to look at it, re-review it, and say, oh, this, oh, that. Because sometimes when I'm working on new stuff, something will trigger in that new thing to be like, this is something you can add over here. And so I can just go back and add it in real quick. But I know that the finished product is done, that it's good to go, that I'm okay with the argument, the motion, the whatever the thing is, and I'm good with it, satisfied with it. Not that it's mediocre work, but like it's satisfactory work, but I give myself, i.e. that little perfectionist within me, more space to say that I want to work on this a little bit more because I have a completed project and I have it done and out of the way. And so when you think about how can I create a flexible routine, it's all that we talked about. It's it's creating more space in your day, in your week, in your life. It's by taking time to create that morning routine that doesn't have you stressed out, frazzled. Because if you start your morning stressed out and frazzled, how does your tone? How does that set your tone? Because think about when you go to work or you get to work late because of traffic and accident, things like that, you typically get to work upset or frazzled or all the things because you feel like you're behind already. And so if you start out feeling behind from the time you leave your house, i.e. from the time you wake up, all you're going to do is keep pushing that, overwhelming that stress throughout the day. Start taking it out on coworkers, friends, family, whatever the case may be. So start with thinking about where can you make your morning better. Again, I don't want you to add nothing to your morning routine. If all you do right now is get up, get dressed for work, and leave, keep doing that. But give yourself an additional 10, 15 minutes to do so. Because in giving yourself that space to do so, you're not running, you're not stressed. You potentially leave work early, get to work a little bit earlier, beat some traffic, or you even see that I have time to do this one thing real quick. Like, let me water these plants real quick. When I get home, that one last thing I got to do because I have the time, I have the space, I have the ease to do so. And then in doing your weekly planning, you're setting your week up so that even when you go back to that morning routine, if you know that, for example, my dentist appointment, like I was using the example of, I have a dentist appointment today. Because I've created space in my morning routine, I'm able to leave the house a little bit earlier to make sure I'm getting to the dentist on time. And in doing that, by having this flexibility and creating this flexibility throughout your day, your week, and ultimately your life, you're setting yourself up to have something that works for you, that's able to be flexible and adaptable. Because by you taking the time to plan each week, that's where that flexibility and that routine comes in, because you're looking at specifically what it is you need to do and have to do for this week. You're welcome, Quincy. Always, always. Yes, we getting it together. Like I said, January is about fresh starts because we're in a new year and a new month, and fresh systems. Creating systems that work for you. It's not about what works for me, which is why I'm not telling you to add anything to your morning routine. I want you to keep doing exactly what it is that you're doing, but do it by giving yourself more space and more grace. That's it. If not, I guess I am telling you to do something to plan if you're not already doing that, because we too old and too grown. And I ain't even calling us old because I don't believe that I'm old, but we too old in the sense that we over 18. So we too old and we too grown to not be out here planning, to not have calendars, to-do lists, planners, things with our schedules in them. We too old and too grown to not have that. We too old and too grown to be frazzled, because what is the example that you're setting for your kids, for your nieces, for your nephews, for your godchildren, for your whatever? What example are you setting? Because if we're all about making life easier and better, about changing the trajectory, because for me, my goal is to impact. It's to impact as many lives as I can to help y'all see that planning, productivity, structure, none of that has to be complicated. It's about finding what it is that works for you. If that's paper, if that's digital, if that's talking to yourself. And when I say talking to yourself, I don't mean that in a crazy way, but if you want to talk to yourself, do that too. But what I'm saying is talking to yourself in the sense of like voice noting yourself or sending yourself, you got, I call mine Chatty. You got ChatGPT, you got all these different AIs that you can talk to and that you can utilize to help you build systems. Or, hello, Coach Lee, your productivity and accountability coach. I can help you build a system and a schedule that works for you. So yeah. Exactly. The space and the grace. We owe it to ourselves to not be frazzled. We too grown to be miserable and confused. There you go. Thank you, Quincy. And so I want you to think about what that looks like for you. And I'm going to be hosting G to G, Get Into Your Goals, from goal setting to goal planning. It's going to be a free masterclass on Saturday, January the 25th at 11 a.m. This week is all about me getting the links and the workbooks and all that stuff set up. You can drop the word, what's my keyword? 2025. Let's go with that. Drop 2025 below if you want to join the masterclass, and I'll get you on the wait list. And so once I have the actual link, I can send it to you for you to actually register and all that jazz. So the purpose of the G to G masterclass, to Get Into Your Goals masterclass, is because we set goals, but what is the plan that we're making to get to these goals? So even if we look at what it is that we were talking about in terms of these creating routines, we desire to have this routine that works. We want a morning routine. We want to wake up early, but what are you actually doing to make that happen? Are you changing your alarm time? Are you going to bed earlier? Are you setting yourself up for any of that to happen? I got you down, Quincy. Well, I'll write it down when I get off the live. But what are you doing to make that a reality? So the same way we talked about and we walk through and work through creating and having routines that actually works for us as busy professionals, as grown folks with responsibilities. The G2G Masterclass is going to be all about helping you to get that clarity and that confidence so that you can go from just setting goals to having goals that actually work, that you can achieve, for having a plan for those goals. Because it's all about doing the work. And so 2025, we're doing the work. We putting in work, we're doing the work. We putting in work, we doing the work. We putting in work, we doing the work. But putting in work and doing the work doesn't have to be some hard, complicated, convoluted thing. I'm here to simplify productivity and show you how it is that you can add this into your life and make it a part of your day-to-day routine. That's it. So if you're interested in joining the masterclass, again, it's free. Comment 2025 live or on the replay, and I'll get you down. If you like bump it, I don't got 2 weeks to wait. I'm ready to do this now. Just comment the word ready. I'll reach out. We can have a conversation. We can hop on a call, do a free personalized productivity audit, and figure out if one-on-one coaching or if you just need a schedule, figure out which one of those it is that you need, and we'll go from there. So figure out what it is you want, figure out what it is you need, and then we can go from there in terms of creating this plan and creating this game plan for you. Okay? All right. I got you down. So it is Coach Lee, your productivity and accountability coach, here for another Sunday for the Live in 5. No, we not Live in 5. We Success Starter series. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to write down names to make sure I don't miss anything. Quincy and Damien. We getting it together. We getting routines. We getting systems. We getting the things that we need that works for us. So until next time, until next week, it's been Coach Lee, your productivity and accountability coach, here for another Sunday of the Success Starter series. If you hopped in live, go back to the beginning, watch it. We're talking about routines that actually work for busy professionals. We're talking about using the Lee method, look, examine, and execute, to look at your morning routine to figure out what's working, to examine your weekly schedule to make sure that you're planning yourself out. And we're talking about executing by creating flexibility within those routines to make sure that it works for you, for that day, for that week, and for your life. So until next time, guys, it's been Coach Lee, your productivity and accountability coach, signing out.